Hey guys, how's it going? We've got the Giants at the Pirates here for another game for you. You probably don't need to see these standings. We've gone over this so many times. Giants and the Cubs right now are tied for first place after the Cubs suffered their most recent loss, which you saw 2 days ago. The Pirates, of course, down at 500, which means they're in third place. Everybody else in the National League kind of is not all the way up there, which is a stark contrast to the American League, where there are a lot of very good teams. So we'll see how this works out. Roger Bresnahan has continued to hit leadoff for the Giants and has done very, very well in that position. So we'll see how he does here today. He rolls a 45 for a 14, walks, and then steals second. Pretty good for a catcher, huh? That brings up Mike Donlin. Donlin rolls a 32 for a 26. It'll be a ground ball over to second base. That's Apaticio throws to first, and Bresnahan moves over to third. And here, just like that, is Art Devlin. The infield will be back. Devlin rolls a 56 for a 34. It's a pop-up over to the first baseman, and Swasina has that two away. And here's Fred Tenney. And Tenney rolls a 31 for a 9. That's going to be a single through short. That will score the runner. And Tenney is then thrown out. It's going to be Clark to Wagner at second, trying to advance to second, trying to stretch that one. And so we go to the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Giants with one hit. And here is Honus Wagner. Wagner hitting 311, rolls a 26 for a 23, changed to 40. That's going to be a foul. Honus's next roll is a 54 for a 45. Here is the little E roll. And it is a 41. I can see that we're having a hard time. Maybe that helps a little bit. 41 is the roll. It's out of the range, so it's a fly ball to right field. Donlin has that for the out, one away. Here now is Tommy Leach. Tommy rolls a 35 for a 14. That'll be 2 balls thanks to the ZZ. The next roll is a 44 for an 8, so it's a pop-up over to the third baseman. Devlin's got that 2 away, and here's Fred Clark. Clark rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's going to be a ground ball to Tenney. The first baseman goes to the bag himself. We go to the top of the second. It'll be Larry Doyle here for the Giants, top of the second inning. Doyle rolls a 53 for an 18. It's changed to 22. It's going to be a ground ball to the first baseman, Swasina, who flips over to Maddox, covering at the bag. One gone. Here's Spike Shannon. Shannon rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a single, and then he will steal second right away. So 2 stolen bases already for the Giants rolling in the second inning, and it's Al Bridwell coming up. Al rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a ground ball again to second, and it's Apaticio throwing to first, and that moves the runner up. We've seen this show before. Here's Cy Seymour, and Cy rolls a 54 for a 45. There's a little E roll. 62 is the roll. So it's a fly ball to right field, and Wilson has that for the out. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 close game. It's George Gibson, catcher for the Pirates, up against Christy. He rolls a 24 for a 13. That's the first strikeout for Mathewson, and number 29 on the season. Mathewson, of course, 6-0 this season so far. Up next is Apaticio, who rolls a 66 for a 0, and then a 41 for an 8. That'll be a single to left center, so much for the no-hitter. And there we go. Try not to drop the dice all over the place. Here comes Owen Wilson now with that runner on at first. Apaticio is slow, which is part of the problem here for the Pirates. And the roll is a 62 for a 12. It's going to be a ground ball over to short. Bridwell gets it on to Doyle for 1 and on to Tenney for the double play. And we go to the top of the third. Just like that. And it's still 1-0 Giants. Here is Christy Mathewson. Mathewson rolls a 51 for a 23. Changed to a 36. That'll be a ball from Nick Maddox. His next roll is a 66 for a 4, so that's going to be a double for Mathewson. There's a rare one. So Mathewson with the big roll, and he ends up on second base, and here's Roger Bresnahan again. Only 9 RBIs. This is what happens when you hit leadoff. 351, though, the average. 480 on base percentage, which is great. Then the 442 slugging percentage. He's among the leading hitters in the National League. Bresnahan rolls a 24 for a 13, so too many accolades from me. First strikeout for Maddox in this game, and number 8 in the season for him. Here's Mike Donlin. Donlin rolls a 55 for a 7, and there's a single to right, and that will score Christie, and it's 2-0 New York, and here comes Art Devlin. Art rolls a 15 for a 10, and so that's a single, send Mike Donlin to the third. Devlin then steals second with Fred Tenney up there. And so here with 1 out is Fred Tenney, and the Giants are about ready to roll. Roll for Tenney is 53 for a 19, changed to a 22, and that's going to be a ground ball over to the third baseman, where are you, Leach, who throws to first base, and the run scores. It's a 3-0 game, and there's 2 away now for Larry Doyle. Of course, we keep that infield back. There's no reason to bring it in when you're down by 2 in this particular situation, though people could argue with that. Doyle rolls a 51 for an 8, and that's going to be a fly ball right field. Wilson's got that for the out. We go to the bottom of the third. Beals Becker comes up for Pittsburgh. Becker rolls a 64 for a 29. It's going to be a strikeout for Mathewson, number 2 today. Here's Swasina. Harry rolls a 61 for a 32. Fly ball right field. Donlin has that for the out. 2 gone, and here's Nick Maddox. Maddox rolls a 31 for a 9, and that will be a single against Mathewson, who's now a B. It brings up Honus Wagner, so 2 hits given up now by Christy. Wagner rolls a 56 for a 14. He'll take his base, and that'll bring up Tommy Leach. Runners on first and second now. And the roll for Leach is a 65 for a 35. There's a little E roll. It's a 33 out of the range, so it's going to be a pop-up over to the catcher, Bresnahan, for the third out, and we go to the top of the fourth. 3-0 still Giants, and here is Spike Shannon for the Giants. Giants in comfortable control. Roll a 51 for a 9 for Shannon. That's a single. Then he's caught stealing thanks to the little C. 1 away, and it's Al Bridwell. Bridwell rolls a 45 for a 14. He'll take his base, and up next is Cy Seymour. I think we'll have Cy swing away, actually. The temptation is to bunt, but I think we'll have him swing away. And look at that. It's a 33 for a 7. It's going to be a single to right center field. Bridwell goes up to second. We'll stop there. And here comes Christy, who, of course, is going to bunt. That's kind of obvious here. And Mathewson rolls a 65 for a 35. There is a little E roll. It's a 61, so it's out of the range. That's going to be a pop-up bunt over to Gibson, the catcher. So he catches that for the out. 2 away, and here's Roger Bresnahan. He's walked and stole second and scored a run, and he's struck out today. And this time he rolls a 22 for a 7. That'll be a single to left field, and that will score 1 and puts runners on the corner. And Nick Maddox is really struggling there. Here is now Mike Donlin, 4-0 Giants. Donlin rolls a 16 for a 26. It'll be a ground ball over to Abaticio, throws to first, and we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Fred Clark will lead this off for the Pirates. Clark rolls a 66 for a 0, and the second roll is 51 for a 2. That's big, a big triple off of Christy Mathewson, and that means that Gibson is up now with the runner in scoring position. We'll keep that infield back. Gibson rolls a 13 for a 36, change to a 40. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Seymour's got that for the out, and there's 1 away, and the runner, Clark, is able to score easily, so it's a 4-1 ball game, and the Pirates are starting to make some noise. Here's Abaticio. Ed rolls a 51 for a 9. It'll be a single, but then he's caught trying to steal thanks to the little C. 2 outs, and here's Owen Wilson. Wilson rolls a 45 for a 14. It's 2 balls. The next rolls a 16 for a 28. Ground ball to the shortstop, and Bridwell fields it and throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 5th inning. It will be Art Devlin here for the Giants. Devlin is 1 for 2, and he has a stolen base. He rolls a 14 for a 43. Fly ball to left field. Clark has that for the out. 1 away. Fred Tenney now for the Giants. Rolls a 61 for a 37. Change to 36. It's a ball. It's just a re-roll no matter what. His next roll is a 66 for a 0. Here come the Giants again, and the next roll is a 45 for a 6. There's an outside chance of a home run. We roll a 34. It's way out of the range. It's going to be a double for Tenney. That'll bring up Larry Doyle. So there's a runner here on second base for Doyle. 1 out, top of the 5th. And Doyle rolls a 16 for a 26. Another ground ball to Abaticio. Has to go to first, and the runner goes to third. It's the 3rd time we've seen that one. Spike Shannon now. And he rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a ground ball again to Abaticio, who throws to first for the final out. We go to the bottom of the 5th. But these Giants are pretty good, aren't they, at getting that runner over, get that runner on at second base, and they're hitting ground balls to the right side. Beals Becker rolls a 21 for a 30. Fly ball to left field, and Shannon has that for the out. 1 away. Harry Swasina now rolls a 26 for a 30. It's another fly ball to left field. Shannon again, 2 away. And here's Nick Maddox, the pitcher. 375 is average. Maddox rolls a 16 for a 26. Ground ball over to second. Doyle has it on to first. We go to the top of the 6th. It will be Al Bridwell here for the Giants. Bridwell rolls a 26 for a 30. Fly ball left field. Clark has that 1 away. Cy Seymour is next, and he rolls a 61 for a 32. It's a fly ball to right field, and that will be Owen Wilson making that play 2 away. Christy Mathewson now rolls a 65 for a 35. It's going to be a pop-up over to Swasina, the first baseman, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 4-1 Giants in the lead. Up first is Honus Wagner, rolls a 65 for a 35 as a pop-up over to Devlin at the left side, and that's the first out. Now it's Tommy Leach. And Tommy, 0 for 2 today, rolls a 13 for 2 balls. And the next roll is a 34 for a 44. Fly ball to center field. Seymour's got that for the out, and there's 2 away. Up next, Fred Clark. Clark today 1 for 2 with that triple, scored a run. And he rolls a 55 for an 8. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Seymour's got that for the out, and we will go to the top of the 7th. Roger Bresnahan comes back up, 1 for 2 today. Got the single, struck out once, walked once. Drove in a run, scored a run, and now he rolls a 61 for a 36. That'll be a ball. Next rolls an 11 for a 0. Follows that up with a 52 for a 6, and there's an outside chance at a home run very far outside. He rolls a 32, so it's not going to do anything. The double is on the books. Here comes Mike Donlin, runner on at second base, nobody out, top of the 7th. Rolls a 61 for a 27. That's a ground ball over to the left side. Leach has it, throws to first, and Bresnahan can't move anywhere, so didn't move the runner over that time. One away. Here's Art Devlin. Devlin rolls a 15 for a 10. That's a single infield hit for Devlin, and Bresnahan moves to third, and that'll bring up Fred Tenney. Now, normally I'd be thinking hit and run, but with a 4-1 lead, I don't think we're going to care so much about that. Tenney rolls a 31 for a 9. That's a single over short. Remember, with runners on first and third, the boards change. C's don't stop 9s, B's don't stop 8s. It's a single over short, scores 1. Tenney goes to first and Devlin to second, and it's a 5-1 ball game. Here now is Larry Doyle once again. He's 0 for 3. And his roll is a 16 for a 26. It's a pop-up on the infield. It will be Abaticio catching that, 2 away, and it's Spike Shannon now. Shannon, 2 for 3 today, has a stolen base and was caught stealing. And he rolls a 15 for an 11. That'll be a single, drives in another run, and Tenney goes to third, and then Shannon steals second again. So lots of running there for Spike Shannon. Up now is Al Bredwell, runners on second and third. It is a 6-1 lead for the Giants. And I'll tell you what, if Maddox gives up another run here, we're going to take him out. And the roll is a 24 for a 13. He heard me, and so he strikes out the batter. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Pirates, only 4 hits today. 13 for the Giants. 6-1 the Giants with the lead. Here's George Gibson, Gibson rolls a 51 for a 9. That's going to be a single for him, and that'll bring up Abaticio. Abaticio hitting 253. 2 for 2 today with one time caught stealing. He rolls a 34 for a 44, and here is a Little E roll. It's a 22 right on the range. That means that's going to be a ground ball over to the shortstop, Bridwell, who throws to first, and Tenney drops it so badly that Gibson goes to third and Abaticio goes to second. So he's safe on the air and gets to second, but it's an error on the first baseman. I'm not sure exactly what he did to get to that point. That'll bring up Owen Wilson, runners on at second and third, nobody out. Infield, of course, is back. Wilson rolls a 34 for a 44. It's a fly ball to center field. Seymour has that for the out, 1 away. Now Beals Becker. Becker today 0 for 2. He rolls a 44 for an 8. That'll be another fly ball to center field, a little bit deeper. Seymour catches that, but the one run scores. Abaticio moves over to third. Now there's 2 away, and Abaticio rolls a 65 for a 35. That's going to be a pop-up to Bridwell, the shortstop, and we go to the top of the 8th inning. 6-2 now, Giants with the lead. A little bit of noise from Pittsburgh, but not enough noise to do really much of anything, and it will be Cy Seymour here. Seymour rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out, 1 away. Strikeout number 3 recorded by Maddox, and here comes Christy Mathewson again. Mathewson rolls a 36 for a 33. There's a Little E roll. It's a 44. It's out of the range. It's a pop-up over to the second baseman. It's Abaticio who has that. 2 away, and here's Roger Bresnahan. Roger rolls a 56 for 14, and he'll take his base on a walk. So Bresnahan again on the base paths. Every time you turn around, he's been on. And here's Mike Donlin. That's where we have him hitting leadoff. Donlin rolls a 51 for a 7, and that's going to be a single, but Bresnahan is thrown out by a good throw by the center fielder Becker trying to advance to third. And so we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, still 6-2 Giants. Maddox is coming out of this ball game, and I think we're going to put Hunky Shaw in again just for fun, for old time's sake. One of my new favorites, Hunky Shaw, who had all of one at-bat in the major leagues and didn't do very well. Has at least a fair card. He rolls a 56 for a 34, and the Little E roll is a 33, so it's a pop-up over to the shortstop. Bridwell has it for the out, 1 away. Honus Wagner now. Wagner rolls a 25 for an 11, so that'll be a base hit, first hit of the game for Wagner. He did walk as well, and he steals second on that one, and that means Tommy Leach will be next. Here's Tommy, runner in scoring position. The rolls a 24 for a 13, a strikeout. Number 3 collected by Mathewson, 2 away, and it's Fred Clark. Clark rolls a 22 for a 7, and that'll be a single to right field. That's good enough to score Wagner. It's a 6-3 game, and here they come. George Gibson now rolls a 31 for a 9. That'll be another single. Runners on at first and second now for the Pirates. 2 outs, so not much he can do. Abaticio's up. And Ed rolls a 55 for an 8. That's going to be a ground ball to the left side. Devlin has it, throws to first for the out, and we go to the top of the 9th. So we'll put Deacon Philippi in again. I know that Deacon doesn't have a great grade, but you don't necessarily need a great grade in this situation. Art Devlin, the first batter he'll face, rolls a 16 for a 26. Ground ball to second base. Abaticio has it, throws to first, 1 away. And Fred Tenney now. He rolls a 23 for a 29. That'll be a ground ball back to Deacon, and he throws to first, 2 away. Larry Doyle. And man, batters are hitting 429 off of Philippi. It gives you an idea of what he's been like. Philippi rolls a 64 for a 22, changed to a 20. That's going to be a ground ball over to Abaticio, and he boots it, and that's the first error on the Pirates. So Doyle makes it to first. 2 outs, and here's Spike Shannon. Shannon rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball to center field, and Beals Becker has that for the out, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Here now is Owen Wilson, who is the first hitter of the inning. Bottom of the 9th inning for the Pirates. See if they can do much. Wilson rolls a 23 for a 32. It'll be a fly ball to right field. Donlin has that for the out, 1 away. Beals Becker now rolls a 36 for a 33. It's a pop-up over to second. Doyle has that, and there's 2 gone. And now it's Harry Swasina time, and he rolls a 44 for an 8. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Seymour has that for the out, and there's your ball game. Mathewson has won 7 straight. He's 7-0. Giants go to should be 18-6. Pirates will go to 13-14. Pittsburgh is sinking away, and the Giants are in first place. Hope you enjoyed this game, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.